And so, have you ever sent the wrong invoice to the wrong person, or did the vendor have a decimal moved on it and you paid someone, 10,000 instead of 1,000? Let's look at the 2x one, where, as I said, I think a lot of the wasted effort is in AI right now. And there's an MIT survey that just came out, I think about a month ago, where this said some 90+% of AI initiatives aren't doing anything. And I think for those of you who are trying them, you might be kind of sympathizing. Yeah, we tried this stuff, didn't really do anything. We really expected a lot more. And I think it's because of two things. One, a lot of people are expecting magic, and magic still isn't real. And there's a problem where you're expecting something to do something that can't possibly really be done reliably, and that's where we're getting stuck. And the other one is, like, you're picking like a pretty low bar, or you're doing something that doesn't really have much of an impact. So, but there are some of these 2x things that are pretty good. So when you think about something where you have a process that crucially that works already, but just could be better. And I think a lot of those things have to do with data entry, and if you're automating how your marketing stuff works, or you're automating how things go from system to system, that's probably got a really good impact in your business. And I don't discount that as a good idea to pursue. It's probably the low hanging fruit that we all need to get really good at, because later you're going to need sort of the mindset, the process, the infrastructure. Even some of the initial tasks that you do might be applied later. I find when using something like N8N, for example, once you set up something, once you finally get over the hurdle of getting your HubSpot and your QuickBooks and your whatever to talk to each other, great. Now you just clone that one, and now you can use the same kind of setup to do like the next task. And I think that's a good ground. But if there's an area where I feel like people are missing on some of the 2x things, I think there's an idea that automation could also fix what you're doing wrong, or that you're doing inconsistently. So when I think about something where there are a lot of iterations of the thing, a lot of repetitions of it, so you're entering invoices, you are doing vendor payments, all that kind of stuff, that's where a human can get bored after 100 or 50 or 5, that people get kind of like, their eyes are on the ball as much. I think that an automation, whether it's AI or not, an automation can really nail down the things that people get off the rails about. So when you're thinking about something where you've got a lot of repetitive work, there's some speed advantage that you'll get, but there's some accuracy that I think is actually better. When I think about where businesses have real Achilles heels, is when they make a mistake. And so, have you ever sent the wrong invoice to the wrong person, or did the vendor have a decimal moved on it and you paid someone 10,000 instead of 1,000? Those are the kinds of errors that I think could be fixed with some kind of automation, right?